So if we look at the drawings for our first leg, also notice, zoom out, it highlights the member that we're working on, that we're about to define. So we have LG1 highlighted, which is this bottom member. From the drawings we see at the bottom there's a thicker piece, and then it gets to the thinner piece, so the thicker piece at the bottom, a thinner piece, and then there's another thicker piece. So this is going to be a member that is segmented in 3. So the first one, the thicker piece, is going to be 48.5 inch outside diameter, and the wall thickness is 1.75. Our segment length we're just going to put as 1. And also we're going to check off flooded member, since this is in the water and it will be flooded. We want to change our FY to 34.5. And all the other defaults are correct. Once we have that in there, that's the bottom segment. We're going to go ahead and add another segment. This will be the middle part, which we see in the drawing is the outside diameter is 47, the wall thickness is 1.0. All the other defaults are the same. Since this member has 3 segments, only 2 segments have to be defined for the length, and the other one will be calculated based off of the total distance from joint to joint. So however many segments you have in a member, only one can be undefined, and it will automatically calculate it. So for this one we're going to leave the middle one blank. Then we'll go and add the last segment, so we'll add segment, and we see that we're on the 3rd segment here. The outside diameter is 48.5 and the wall thickness is 1.75. We'll have to put in the segment length of 1.0, and then we're done. So once we are finished, we hit apply, and it's applied. We can go click on the solid elements, this box at the top here. If we click on that, you'll see now that member at the bottom has been defined, where the other ones haven't been defined yet. So we're going to do the same thing for the other leg. So we'll go back into you can keep the box open. We'll go back into the member group manager box. We'll go to LG2, we'll click on add, and notice it now changes to the group LG2. It's already in inches, so all we have to do is define it. It's the same, it's going to be 3 segments, same size. So the first segment's 48.5 by 1.75 with a segment length of 1. We'll go to the next segment, we'll add segment, and we're on number 2. The outside diameter is 47. The wall thickness is 1.0. And we'll leave the segment length blank. We'll add another segment. That's 48.5 by 1.75, and the segment length is 1. Once we have all 3 segments, we hit apply, and you see that next member has been applied. We'll go back into the member group manager, LG3. We'll add that. This also is going to be 3 segments. The first segment is 48.5 by 1.75. The segment length is 1. We've got to add another segment. The middle segment is 47 by 1. We'll leave the segment length blank. We add another segment. It's 48.5 by 1.75. The segment length is 1. Once all that's defined, again, this is still in the water, still have it as flooded. We'll apply that, and now that's been defined. Alright, so the next one, we'll go to the member group manager box. We'll go to LG4, we add that, and this is just a single segment at the top. It's the thicker part. You can see it's a small little area, small length. This is going to be the 48.5 by 1.75. The segment length is the whole thing, so we'll delete the 1, uncheck flooded, and we'll hit apply. The next one going up, we hit the DL6. So we'll go to DL6 in the member group manager box. We'll add that. And this, the outside diameter is 42 and the wall thickness is 1.5. And we'll hit apply. Then we'll go to DL7. We'll add same dimensions, 42 by 1.5. We're on DL7. We'll apply. The next thing is the conductor, the middle members here. We'll add that. And this is, the outside diameter is 30 inches by 1 inch. And this is in the water. We're going to check off flooded. We'll hit apply. Next is the pile legs. We're going to add that. Uncheck the flooded. So we're on PL1 and this is 42 by 1.5. You'll hit apply. Then we'll go to PL2, we'll add it. Same dimensions, 42 by 1.5. Hit apply. We'll go back to PL3, we'll add. Look at the box, it's 42 by 1.5. We'll apply. Go to PL4. We'll add that. It's 42 by 1.5 and we'll hit apply. The last one is PL5. Add that. It's 42 by 1.5 and you apply that. And the next one is the wishbones. We'll go click that, add. We'll change it. The outside diameter is 30 by 1.0. And also this is a flooded. So we'll check off flooded and we'll apply. Then we can close this out, close both boxes, and then we can notice everything on the screen has now been defined. It is a solid element. So we're going to go in and save this. We'll go to File, Save As. Same thing, hit OK. We're going to change the ending from 01 to 02. Change that to 02. We'll hit Save. Now if we notice, if we close this out and we have our folder open in the executive here, we have our 01 and our 02. If we look at this in the editor, where we could also input the units and the dimensions, we'll see what that looks like. We can open it by dragging this over to the data gen, or we can right click and open it in the data gen, which we're going to do. And you can see all the groups that we just put in. Here's the group label. It tells you what each column is for. On the right hand side you'll see that's the outside diameter, the wall thickness, and this is the group label. So it gives all the groups here and all the dimensions. The next thing we're going to do is create the horizontal framing for the jacket. So we'll go ahead and open up SACSJacket1Part2 with Precede. We're going to start at the bottom, so we're going to go to Display, Plan. It gives you all the elevations here. We're going to go to negative 79.5, hit Apply, zoom in. So this shows the bottom elevation. The next thing we want to do is exclude part of this, so we go to Display, Group Selections, and we're going to exclude the pile and the wishbone elements from this view. So if we go, you'll see the groups here. We have exclude checked off. We'll go through PL1 through PL5, hit the arrow for this to go in the selected group box. Also we'll click on the wishbone, we'll select that. And at the bottom it has checked off show unattached joints. We're going to uncheck that. You can see there's two joints here, one for the leg, one for the pile. We don't want to show the joint So we're going to keep it where it's not shown. When we hit apply, notice that it's now gone away. So now we're going to add the members. And to do this, we'll go to Member, Add. It brings up this box, Joint A, Joint B, and Group Label. We can turn our joints on by clicking on the joint icon here. So if we start off on 101L, we can click on 102L. Notice when we click on the joints, it puts it in this box here. You could type it in, but clicking on it is much faster. Now, group label for this, we're going to call H11. And it's an individual ads. It's one member. You can click apply here, or you could right click with your mouse and it's going to apply the member. So if we click, it applies the member there. The next one, we want to add 101L to 103L. We can, same group label, we can just right click and it applies it. Same thing, 102L to 104L, right click, add. 103L to 104L, we right click and it adds. Now the next step, we're going to divide these members. Now we can look at the drawing. Drawing 103, and we'll see all the dimensions for this elevation. So from here we're going to go to, close this one out, go to Member, Divide. We can do Ratio. So our new joint name, we want to start off with 1100. You'll check off Use Next Available Name if above exists. That way if this exists, maybe we already put it, it'll just start off with the next number, so it'll go to 1101. So the first one we want to look at is this top member. It's divided in the middle, so we can say 0.5. Once we have all that, we can right click and the member gets put in the middle. Same thing at the bottom here. We click on the bottom member, right click, it's 1101, directly in the middle. On the right side here, it's in the middle again. We right click, apply. We notice that it divides. On the left side, it's not in the middle. We can also use a different command. So we'll go to Member, Divide by Length. Now it still keeps the new joint name as the next one, which is 1103. If we click on the member on the left here, we'll look at the drawings, and the dimension to the first joint is 11.35. So we'll input that. We can right click and apply, and it puts the joint correct. Then we click on this member here. We notice from that joint to the next one should be 4. So we're going to input the length as 4. We'll apply that, and then it puts that joint. The next thing we want to do, we can add this member. So we can go to Member,